Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be base coating the Karakadrak's armor, the good old Chaos Lizard. So we're going to be doing blue on the armor panels right here. We want to be doing blue on the little armor on his legs, as well as on this side too. We won't be doing any metallics today. We might be doing a bit of the cloth, as well as like the spines, but mostly we're only working on the armor panels. So yeah, let's get started. So the first color I'm gonna want to be using is Karakadrak blue. We're gonna be using Karakadrak blue, simply to contrast with the skin. My apologies. Yeah, we want to be using contour blue because we want to contrast the skin, because the skin is going to be sort of a deeper, a grey colour, and also just because I like blue. I think blue is a really nice colour. So we want to make sure that it's not too thin. Alrighty, I think that's a good consistency. You can't see that, but that's okay. Swipe. Alright, we're good. Alright, let's see how this looks. Alright, we're gonna go just on the there. Like that. Beautiful coverage. Nice thin. Hopefully don't get any on the armor. Shouldn't do. Oop, a little bit on his skin, but it's okay. We'll cover that back up. Shouldn't be too bad. Can you see that? You can see that pretty well. Alright, oop. Yeah, a little bit more on my brush. Yeah, alright, there we go. So I'm going to get a little bit on the armor here. I want to go in the little cracks behind there as well. Now the reason why I'm doing blue is because I decided that's the color I wanted to use. That's pretty much it, and it would have been easier to do blue on the armor panels first. The answer is yes, it would have, but you know what, shit happens. Alright, so just want to do two sweet thin coats. Now, for little anklets here, it's going to be a little bit worrying because I have to be a little bit careful. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to change out my brush. I'm going to change it out for... where is it? Where's the brush I want to use? Change it out for this brush here. This is a smaller head on it. It's a little bit thin. It's more round, which is fine. And we'll change that out. We're going to swipe off. So we want to be a little bit more careful because we don't want to get too much paint on the actual detail, but that should be fine. That's good. There you go. Oop, a little bit on the skin, but it's okay. Shit happens, right? I'm going to turn them around and do the same thing. Although I do not have a lot of Karakadrak blue on my palette, so I'm going to get a little bit more on there. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Doop. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. Alrighty, we got a little bit more on the brush, so we're good to go. So let me check back here, see if anything's good. Oh, I forgot about this side here. Sorry, forgot about right here. I am a little bit of a forgetter. Alright, that should be fine. Alright, so we've got the big armor panel here. That's worrisome, but it shouldn't be too bad. My first rodeo. Actually, for big armor panels like this, I like to use the big brush. Now, give me a moment. yeah, big armor panels like this, I really do like to use the big brush. So here's what I do. I go over and I just pull down because I want it to kind of go into the detail. It feels like pulling down with my brush is what works the best for me. Others maybe not so much, but that's okay. Everyone's different. Everyone has different strategies, different styles. Now, I'm a little worried because I do find it a little bit difficult to do the details, but once I get a shade on this, and I am only going to really be shading in Nuln Oil / Bascalium Grey, depending on how I feel. You see that? Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing here. Sorry. So I'm kind of trying to like follow the edges with my brush. Can you see? Yeah, you can see a little bit. So I'm just following the edges with my brush. Now, right now it looks like garbage because it's only one coat, but it shouldn't look too bad after a little while. That's the one thing I've always been very annoyed about when painting, is that first couple of coats look like garbage, but after that it starts to really come together. Also might be a bit too thin, but that's fine. Right, we're going to do the 2 back plates, and then we're going to switch to the smaller brush to get the last bits. So same thing here, just follow along, get your 2 thin coats on. Make sure not to get too much detail in the make sure not to do too thick because you don't want to cover up the details. Just follow along. Oh, out of frame. My apologies, guys. I'm trying to look through the camera, so it's a little bit difficult, but it's not too bad. Same thing going up in here with the brush. Just following. Yeah, alright. Alrighty. So, with little mistakes right here, with the brush there, what I'll do is I'll just go back, clean it up, because it's not too different of a colour, it's just a little bit lighter, but that shouldn't be too bad. That should not be too bad. Alright, I'll load up my brush again. Yep. Swipe. And now we're going to get back onto it and go back at it. As you can see, all I'm really doing is just letting the brush do all the work. I'm not pressing too hard. I'm not pressing too soft. I'm simply just guiding the brush with my hands. Now, while the quality may not be the best on camera, I can assure you that when you paint for yourself, it will look just fine. Now, you probably can't see it very well, but I'm going to try and get in there. Now, if you get a little bit of blue on the horns, do not worry. That's not my worry. They're going to be a different colour anyway. They're going to be quite a dark colour, so the blue really is not going to be a bit of a problem. But as you can see, there's a few places up in the ridges there. I'm just going to go over them with our brush. Make sure we get everything, all the nooks and crannies, everything in there. Now we'll be experimenting with a few things I've never done before. More specifically in those edges in there, I'm going to try and do a sort of a glowy colour. I don't know what kind of effect I want to do, maybe like a green or a glowing blue. Regardless, I think that'll look pretty. And now we see, that's one thick coat. That's a little bit thicker than I'd like it to be, but that's okay, it happens. We're now going to do this one here, right here. Nice coat, the blue, all the way over. Making sure to block in all that colour. Make sure to get all the detail. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah. Alrighty. That's not too bad. Okay. Now, we are going to have to get inside the little plates in here. That's not really a bit of a bother. What you want to do, you really will just have to sort of scoot your brush in. Must be very careful. Kind of just eyeball it. If you go a little bit over, that's okay. You can tend to clean up those details. I'm doing the same thing for here. So as you can see, a bit of detail in there. So we're just going to eyeball it. Not squint. Wide open eye. And sorry, I am taking my camera. And just, you know. There we go. Beautiful. Now, so that is most of the armor plates. I'm going to do the rest of them, but the basics of it is you're going to, the basic of it is this sort of color scheme home. If you want to paint along, is not too bad. I'm trying to use a small amount of color, as small amount of colors as I can, and if I can mix them on my own, that is what I tend to do. So yes, we're going to follow up. We're going to do the last little armor plate here. And then you're going to see me in the next episode doing the rest of the cloth and stuff. Can we see on camera, guys? You can see me on camera. Yep, so we're just doing this little bit here. Oh, Jesus. Come up. We're just doing this little piece here. Okay. So, one thing I like to do to tackle these tricky little bits is I like to go like this, sort of gently move side to side. Takes a bit of time, but it can be a little bit easier for you because it means you won't necessarily get as much. You will get the same amount of detail. It might take a little bit longer and you will have to go back and do it, but usually it's not too bad. So yeah, that was the Chaos Lord and Karakadrak. That's like just doing the base coats and stuff. Not bad, not perfect, but we still aren't finished because we still got this little bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. Just drag down on our brush. We just want to let the brush do all the work. All we're doing is dragging down, letting the brush fill in the cracks and the detail. On the occasion, I still have a bit of paint left on my hand. That's okay. It's a bit wet. It's good. Dragging down, letting all of it just fill in the cracks. And in the end, give me a moment, you'll have a model that... Sorry, I feel like I keep fucking taking him off frame. If I do, my apologies. It is really my first... This is very, very new to me. I've really painted on camera before. But yeah, you should get something a little bit like this. And by saying you should, you probably fucking won't because you're going to be using the same colours. But this is my goal, is to kind of block in the colours, get them looking nice and vibrant. Well, not necessarily vibrant, but we're basically, yeah, what we're doing is we're getting colours in, we're getting it all sort of sorted, and we're making it look all very, very sweet and shiny. Also, one sec. Just gonna... There we go. Beautiful. Bit of paint is on the back of my phone, but that's okay. It's only the case, and the case is only plastic. So, last thing we're going to do, as you can see, we're going to do this little bit here, and this little bit is very easy. We're just going to, you know, coat it as we go, slowly but surely. Now, we have got a bit like right in there. I don't know if you can see it. We got a bit of that grey there. That is going to be a bitch and a half to do with the big brush. So what we're going to do, get a little brush out. Swipe. No paint there. Right. So we get a little brush out. As you can see, it's a bit tricky. So what I like to do is I like to just barely coax it out. Just barely. And I tend to get wet on the model, but that's okay. It happens. Mistakes are made. That's average. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Even the best painters in the world fuck up. And that's a good thing. Because that means you learn how to be better. Beautiful. I think we're good. We're not perfect though. Still got a few details on the side here, as you can see. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go down, swipe. Now, for something like this, you can see in there. For me, I'm going to have to paint it. As you can see, like just sort of behind the little lad with the coat, as you can see in there, I am going to paint that. So with that, I tend to just sort of swipe in. A little motion like that, just a little bit of... Yeah. Beautiful. Is that scale? Oh shit, those are scales. Are they? Yeah, they are. Ow, fuck. Alright, those are scales. That's okay, we'll fix it up next time. Anyway, I think that's about that. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. Let me check, see if there's any more. A few little things that need to be redone, but that's okay. Shouldn't take too long. Alright. Just got a little bit more on the other planes in the front, and then we'll be done. I do hope you can't see, you can't hear outside. If you do, don't pay them any mind. Regardless. Alright. Fuck. Itchy chin. We're good. I think we're good. Maybe? Yep. I think we're finished, lads. So we've done all the blue on the armor plates. That's okay. It might be a little bit scuffed now, but that's alright. Scuffed is fine, because as you can see, we're nowhere near finished. We're only at the starting of the base coating stage, and base coating is probably the messiest stage, and I like it because it is the messiest stage. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you all so much, and goodbye.